The next person I want to introduce is Alderman Byron Sigcho-Lopez. Alderman Byron stood by our side and supported us as we passed the ceasefire resolution in Chicago. That is another thing we thought was unimaginable, but that's another win we got here in Chicago. We were the first city to pass the ceasefire resolution, and that was with his help. And the largest city, exactly. Alderman Byron was born and raised in Quito. Byron immigrated to the United States as a teenager and eventually made Pilsen his home over a decade ago. A former educator, researcher, and community organizer, Byron founded the Spanish literacy program at the UIC Center of Literacy to expand GED access for Spanish-speaking residents. He later became director of Pilsen Alliance, where he advocated for public education, affordable housing, and anti-displacement efforts. In 2019, Byron was elected Alderman of Chicago's 25th Ward through a grassroots campaign centered on community, accountability, and public service. He lives in Pilsen with his wife, Laureen, their 3 children, and 3 dogs. Please help me welcome Byron.
Assalamu alaikum. And it's an honor to be here with all of you today. I am very proud to be here in Chicago raising the Palestinian flag that is more than the flag of the Palestinian people, but a symbol of resistance and a symbol and the cry of every child in Gaza, in the Middle East, and across our country, crying for freedom and justice and liberation for all. That's why we are so honored to be here with you today as a representative of the City Council. I am so proud to be here with you in the 5th anniversary, the 5th time that we raise the flag of dignity for every human being here in Chicago. In Chicago, in the land of the Parawamis, the keepers of fire, I would like to share a quick story about how our struggles are always connected, no matter how hard colonial powers try to call us foreigners in our own land. I tell you, the Parawamis and many of the indigenous people believe in the interconnectedness of all the struggles. And there's a prophecy that says that one day the eagle and the condor will come together, and then we will find peace and justice. And I tell you, as someone who grew up in the south part of this continent, I am so proud and honored to have found no other than the most courageous, the most courageous and the biggest fighters in our world today, the Palestinian community. There is no one else who fights for freedom with the intensity and the urgency of the moment. The martyrs who lost their lives in the rubble, and from the rubble they'll rise, and one day they fire up the many of us, the working people who are rising up and condemning the genocide. And here in Chicago we have condemned it, and we have passed the first ceasefire for the many to come. And today I tell you that the task couldn't be more dire. Here in the City Council, we'll continue to demand the immediate release of Salah Mansour. And despite of the games and despite of the hate, we will continue to fight, and we will demand his immediate release. He committed no crime. The only crime is the audacity to believe on a free world, and it is a freedom, and it is justice, and it is a freedom, and it is a dream that all believe. I tell you that today way too many are behind bars, way too many oppressed, way too many in fear. From the ICE detentions to the prisons in Gaza, we all believe in freedom and justice for all. And we start here in the land of Chicago, in a fight of the many, the working people, condemning the billionaire class, the only minority destroying our country and the world. And today I tell you that we will fight to block the bombs, but we also will fight to hold those war criminals accountable for the crimes they have committed. And today it gives me I cannot be more proud. In a country like ours that we continue to struggle for freedom and justice, I represent a port of entry. the port of entry of Pilsen and Little Village, that fight today, the many fights that today we fight against imperialism, against injustices, against the colonial powers, against the Israeli genocide state that is fighting a injustice fight that is burning the globe and is killing way too many people. So today I tell you I have a dream, the dream that too many, that I tell you that my dream will be that one day and day will come when we'll come together to free Palestine. That we today, we can fight together to free Palestine, and together one day, my dream is to go to Palestine and celebrate with the children and the journalists and the people of Palestine for a free Palestine, because a free Palestine will mean a free world, a world where all can be walking free, a world of peace and justice for all. And that's what we fight for Palestine, and we fight and we're proud to be celebrating the Palestinian flag to raise here in Chicago on the fight on the land of the true free and the true brave, and they're no more free, more brave than our Palestinian brothers of freedom, and we will fight for them every single day, and that is a commitment. We will not be afraid. We will fight for freedom and justice for Palestine, today and always. Si se puede, hasta la victoria siempre.